we are going to be practicing our artist signature, working on light box technique. I bet you guys didn't know that everybody has a natural light box in their house. And number 3, we're going to be working on stretching our imagination. So the finished assignment that I created is this symmetrical insect. So, but you might ask, why do I need my signature? Am I going to sign the bottom? On the bottom of this one is just a little math. I'm reusing a nice lined paper. Pulled it out, there was a little math on the corner. You are going to be starting with your cursive signature. Now I know that we worked on signatures in 4th and 5th grade. You may forget, you may need a little, you may be a little rusty with your signature. And then in 3rd grade, I know some of you already have a cursive signature, but you might need a little help. So there's 2 ways that you can get a little help. One is to get a parent to write out each letter in cursive of your name and then write it out all connected. And then you just practice that, and I'll show you how to do that. Another is to type your name in a font that's cursive. Cursive means it's all one line strung together. Okay, and then practice by copying that. And what I want you to do is fill up your paper with your signature, just experimenting, getting it the way you like. So I'm going to use Expo marker on my whiteboard, but I want you to practice with pencil. You don't have to erase, just make a whole bunch of signatures on a piece of paper. You can just use a lined paper. Or you can use the back of, whatever paper you're going to use for your finished project. But with your finished project, it needs to be on not too thick paper. So don't get your nice drawing paper out for this project. You need thin paper, like printer paper or lined paper. So if I'm just looking at my last name in print looks like this: C-A-I-R-N-S, Cairns. Okay? But in cursive, it looks a lot different. So this C has a little curve and it comes down. And the A goes up a little bit, then back. Any circle letter always goes up like a wave, like an O. It goes up like a wave, but then it comes back down, and an O looks like that. It goes up like that. A would go down. Then the I, it just goes up and down. Now I'm not connecting them, but eventually you have to connect it for it to be cursive. The R, oh, forgot my dot. The R goes up a little higher on the first line and then down like that. So what I'm just doing here is I'm showing you how to break down your signature and then connect it all together once you're comfortable with each letter. Once you have done that once, I want you to try to write your signature many, many times so that it goes fast and you feel comfortable and it's fluid. You can use your last name. You can use your first name. I would not suggest using more than one name, but you can really experiment and make sure that you fill up a paper as a warm-up with your signature all over. Yay! Got to cap your markers, otherwise they're going to dry out. So you're going to take your paper. I really suggest using a lined paper because it's nice and thin, and we need a thin paper. And I want you to fold it hot dog style. So match up the corners. highly recommend do not do this in the air like I am. Do it on a table, and then you take your finger, pull it to the end, and then that's the best way to fold. Get a nice, neat fold. Okay, so you have a hot dog style. Then you got to find your folded edge. The folded edge is the edge that's not open. This edge that's folded. That's the bottom. So keep that on the bottom. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you are going to, on that folded edge, you are going to, in pencil, you're going to write your name in cursive. It's got to be in cursive. And it should touch places on the folded part. So I'm going to go down. I'm doing a C. Now you can't see it. That's why I always use marker. So I'm going to use marker. But I want you guys to do it in pencil so that you get it just the way you like it. Okay, I have my marker. I want you to be able to see it. That's why I'm using a marker, but I want you to do it in pencil. Now go up for the A, down. I'm just speeding this up so that you don't have to watch a whole long video. I hope that you have fun doing this. Tip. Find a window that you can easily access, and then just turn your paper over, press it against the window with spider fingers, and this is when you really want to remember that slow and low. That is the tempo. If you want to be neat, you gotta go slow. And then you want to go over your lines, but you really want to go over them exactly. So keep your focus. Don't get distracted, and try to go over exactly the lines that you originally did. See, one thing you'll know is you see that my name's backwards. That's when you know you're writing on the right side. And you go as low as you went, as high as you went in that very first drawing you did. I'm calling your signature a drawing because I think of signatures as kind of little artworks. Little line artworks. So I'm doing my whole signature, but sometimes I stop and start just to make sure I got it. Don't forget any dots. Okay, so now when I open it up, it looks like the beginning of an insect, I think. So now I have my symmetrical signature drawing, and I'm just going to look at it. I think this side is a little thicker, so I'm just going to go over the other side to neaten it up. I see I have some smudges. It's probably from going slow in my demonstration. You may or may not have smudges. Once you color it in, you won't notice any little mistakes, but whatever you add, you might want to make it symmetrical. I'm going to show you how to do these little insect legs. So one thing that I like to do is I like to look at the points that it looks like there may be a leg coming off of it, and I like to start off with a little circle, and whatever I do on one side I just do on the other. Then legs taper and they get more narrow as they go away from the body, and they also change direction at joints. I'm pretending this is a joint like a knee, so I'm going to change direction, and it's really a very skinny triangle. I don't have to make them symmetrically aimed. It's kind of fun. I don't know why, I just love symmetry, but you don't have to. I'm going to change the direction, just make a line. So now that looks like might be crawling somewhere. And then the last line is kind of a foot, the little bottom part. Okay? And then if you want to make these little hairs on there, you just take your marker and you just angle it, and you actually just use your marker as a stamp. And you just stamp. I just like to do it on the thickest part, and then when I do my other one, I pointed down. Pay attention to where you're pointing your marker if you stamp it. And so I'm going to do the same thing on this leg. I'm just pointing it down. You guys should do what you like. Okay, now I have all those. I have antenna. You might see you have natural antenna, and then it's time to color it in. Once you have completed outlining your symmetrical signature creature and adding any legs that you want to add or arms, you're done with part 1. Give yourself a big pat on the back. Go get a snack. Do out something else that's fun. Go on a bike ride. Something else. And then we're ready for coloring in part 2.